But first, a wave of strikes has been sweeping Egypt for over a month, bringing some industries to a total standstill. When bus drivers stopped working, the authorities turned to the army and private businesses to keep public transport running. And the textile, steel and medical sectors have also been affected. The country's new Prime Minister, Ibrahim Mehleb, has called for the unrest to end, saying now is a time for work, not strikes. Leana Hosea has been to Cairo to find out why people are so unhappy.
These construction workers are chanting for bread. Along with many other public sector workers, they are demanding better wages and conditions, despite the government recently announcing a minimum wage of about $170 per month for state employees. But labour organiser Huda Kamal says it's nothing more than a trick because it's so low that it won't give many a pay rise at all.
So they are calculating it on the gross salary, not the basic salary. This is the first trick. The second point, that it will not cover a big percentage of the people who are working. The economy is not falling apart. It's a strong economy. We have resources to have better life for the people and better life for the workers. But the policies are wrong. For example, in the private sector, they take subsidies for energy. They are taking the lands with very little price. They are taking the raw materials with nothing from the government. Why are you giving these subsidies to the private, not to the general?
The strikes are happening against a backdrop of 3 years of political upheaval, which has battered the economy. But the revolution was largely about improving the lot of the poor. Bread, freedom, social justice, not something many are willing to let go of after all the uprising has cost in terms of blood. But many economists echo the sentiment of the government that the workers need to get back to their jobs and get the economy on track.
I think these strikes are unjustified. If you're not producing enough to deserve these wages, you don't deserve these wages. You simply don't have the resources to support the poor in Egypt or those at the lower end of the public sector. You don't have these resources because you're part of an international global economy. Let's compare, for instance, the wage of a laborer in the textiles and clothing sector, where we compete with Bangladesh and India and China. Our wage rate per hour is 3 times as much as China and 2 times as much as Vietnam. So we are not competitive and we cannot afford to pay higher wages.
But for ordinary workers like Ahmed Mahmoud, who is struggling to give his family a decent life, this argument doesn't fly. He lives with his wife and children in one of the many extremely poor neighbourhoods of Cairo in a tiny 2-room flat. It's hard to see where they all have room to sleep, and when he opens the fridge, it's practically empty.
We are saying we will live with the rich as servants, even as slaves, but feed us. If they have a dog, they will feed him. We are not asking for much. We are happy to eat just beans, but even this we cannot afford anymore. We only eat meat in Ramadan when it's given as charity.
Lunch is a simple bowl of beans and bread. This meagre meal is very typical for many in Egypt, where over 40% of the population live below the poverty line. The situation leaves Ahmed Mahmoud almost out of hope.
For my kids, I know it's going to be very hard for them to make a living, and to be honest. So I hope that my kids become thieves. This is how they will survive here. Honest people are lost in this country. Only opportunists can make it here.
The labour movement in Egypt has always been a powerful political force and was the driving engine behind the revolution which overthrew Hosni Mubarak. The new president of Egypt will have to balance satisfying the workers' needs with investors' interests. Another problem is that a significant part of the economy is controlled by the army and is beyond government management. It will be difficult to enact a proper economic policy when part of the economy remains hidden and those profits out of reach.
Leana Hosea reporting from Egypt there. Now,